All right, hello everybody. My name is Crazy Kaylee. Welcome to the Platinum Finals. I'm joined by the host of Bear Roar and my co-caster Dells. If you
Hey,
guys want to say hi,
that's me.
indeed. I've just been asked by Wodar to tell everyone that he knows he said earlier that there was no cast at 5 p.m. today. That has changed. There will now be a cast at 5 p.m. today, casting some tournament of position games. I'm led to understand right here at twitch.tv/SpyParty.
That's
But
correct.
today we are on for the Platinum Finals. Pwndnoob versus YerAnd. Should be an extremely hype match.
Yeah,
And
and it's
what's up,
been a long journey to get here. Pwndnoob started playing in season two in Copper Division, then made it to Bronze season three, Silver season four, or rather Gold season four, and now Platinum in this season. Meanwhile, YerAnd started in season three, down in Bronze, made it to Silver in season four, and then jumped up two whole divisions by completely destroying Silver that season and made it all the way up to platinum and has totally risen to the occasion. Pwndnoob has had an undefeated season in first place, though has had a few draws, and YerAnd has basically been able to take out everyone else in the division, but did get some losses to Pwndnoob. So this is going to be a really big rematch for the two of them.
Yeah, the two of them sort of been climbing together, and some of the longest climbs in SCL history so far. We do have the draft coming in. YerAnd wins the toss, is going to spy second, and Noob is going to pick map second. So we'll see here what YerAnd will ban first. Thinking about it. There's a lot of interesting pick and ban history between these two. They have good maps, they have bad maps. High Rise, I expect to see either picked or banned at some point in this. I think we got a little bit of research on them, Dells. Did you dig up anything?
Well, I think when it comes to the bans here, I think we might be seeing a ban of Tayen from YerAnd. Pwndnoob is sort of
Yep.
notable for being a big fan of Tayen.
There it is. Tan ban right away from Urine, and Pondu bans Veranda.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
YerAnd is
standard for
also
these
a
two.
big fan of Veranda, so they're just banning their
Ah,
opponent's favorite
this
map.
this is this is a little bit different. Yerand picks Aquarium doubled, and Pondu picks Gallery doubled. Aquarium not a map that has a long history between these two, so maybe that's your secret tech coming out from Yerand. And
Yep.
now we move into single picks.
Yeah, both of these players are the type to do a lot of research, not just into their opponent, but also into Spy Party in general. So we may be seeing some specific strategies that they've never used before against anyone, but that they've been studying for this match.
Yerand picks Courtyard, pretty standard stuff, and Pondu picks Library. So I'd say that's a pretty standard draft so far from them. They each have one single map left to pick, but Aquarium, I think, is the big surprise here.
Yeah, and I think they've both been preparing for it. Pwndnoob said that he had a feeling it might come up. He's been practicing his shark strategies and maybe going to be seeing some clever things done behind the shark today.
Always important to know where the shark is and what kind of shadow it casts on Aquarium. Definitely a map that, unlike other maps, there's sort of this very direct thing you can learn about it, namely which shark goes where on the map. And knowing that is
Behind the shark is Bug, but there are some other plays, and knowing these players, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like, I don't know, microfilm attempts behind the shark or walking alongside the shark for the last 10 seconds to avoid a shot, things like that.
I think they accidentally did a regular season.
Mm.
We're getting a new draft code, so I assume they're just going to replicate the draft as it was, and then we'll get the last picks out.
Yeah, that's a common mistake. I feel like a lot of people have been doing that.
Should just get Hummus to disable the regular season matches during the postseason. Yeah, match format, for those of you who are not familiar, is going to be exactly the same as in the tournament of position. It's going to be first to nine, and if 8-8, then Pwndnoob will be your winner. Yeah, they're replicating the draft, so we'll eventually get to the single pick.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the other one that I'm looking forward to, and I don't always look forward to this, is Courtyard. And so a lot of the times, Courtyard might not always go really crazily. People just sort of follow a very similar formula to it. But I think with these players, in order to get a spy win, they know they need to take bold tactics and try sort of weird things to throw the sniper off guard because of how dominant their snipers are. So I'll be kind of excited to get to Courtyard and see what strategies they have in mind.
YerAnd picks Terrace, which is not at all expected from really out by picking Medea. Again, no surprises there. That's pretty standard down the middle pick for this matchup, I think. And with that, I think we're about ready to get started as soon as the players click on each other.
Great. And yeah, it looks like YerAnd hasn't played a single game of Terrace all season. My only idea is that it's some sort of counter research idea. You can't research how I play on Terrace if I haven't played on Terrace, so you don't know what to expect from me here.
All right, the players are in a match. We load in here.
Yes, and we have autoplay on, is that correct?
Hopefully so. If not, I'm sure Bear will get to it. And we will start out on Aquarium. And we will have as the spy, Pwndnoob, and as the sniper, YerAnd.
And so in the last few matchups that these two played, the scoreline was 7-4 Pwndnoob in both of them. And it was mostly thanks to Pwndnoob being able to just get a few mission wins by. Both of these players have really dominant snipers. And so, like I was saying, we're just going to need to see some clever spy play. The games where Pwndnoob was able to get missions win by, it was because he was doing something unconventional. It was never just, a slow, simple game. Because YerAnd can catch those.
Well, that's definitely one choice.
That's a choice. Wow. We immediately take the list from the bar. This works against some snipers because they're not looking for it at that point. They see people go to the bar early and they think, all right, I'll remember them. They could delegate. And you just don't have the habit of actually looking to see if the list gets taken because no one takes the list there.
It'll all come down to memory. So far, no one who's a possible spy other than Alice has taken a drink. It doesn't look like YerAnd knows.
No, it's basically a question of how long will it take before YerAnd actually looks to see if the list is gone instead of just mentally noting, okay, Wheels can delegate, Queen can delegate, I'll keep an eye on them.
Yeah, it's much too late at this point if you haven't seen it. It is a good test of memory. If you can remember everyone who's been at the bar, which is 3 potential spies at this point, then he'll at least whittle down the field pretty significantly. But so far, looking very clean for Pwndnoob. Got away with gulping the drink, in fact.
Yeah, and
So if Yearn doesn't remember that he was there, oh, and a bad entry too from Wheels. My goodness.
so the problem is, if you were watching Alice, also known as Ponytail, for a delegate, it's been about a minute now. Her timer is done. She couldn't be doing it. And so by the time you notice the list, you probably won't even remember that she could have just directly taken it. Pwnoob seemingly having some trouble getting closer to the seduction target here. The flirt is now up to 64%, which means we will need to hit a green test to get another one. We were so far away that we could only hit 32
Banana
each
bread.
time. Here's a fake banana bread coming off.
Yeah, he knows.
Wow.
Oh,
Ooh.
God, right in the ponytail. So yeah, Yearn not fooled at all. I think either saw the fade and was just going to wait for confirmation, or just knew that no one else could have done it and had good memory of who had been there and who had not. So very nice. 1-0 to Yearn. Strikes first.
Either way, that's probably the sort of bold spy strategies that we can expect to see for the rest of the set. And Pwnoob's spirit may be a little bit broken already by the first one not working. But that's sort of how spy games work at this level. You know the sniper is really strong. You know they're going to catch a lot of them, so you don't mind losing some as long as you keep forcing the sniper to watch out for everything and just hope that you'll sneak some by at some point.
Speaking as a highly aggressive early game spy, you typically, I mean, it's a good idea to often to start very aggressive to make the sniper a little paranoid about the early game. But usually you like to do it in places where it's going to create paranoia. The sniper can just look at the list and see it's still there and you haven't done that mission. And especially on a mission like Aquarium, I think it maybe would have been better to do an early bug behind the shark, an early swap while the shark is swimming by. Just use the shark to your advantage and make the sniper worry about what's going on behind that shark.
And we have YerAnd going for almost the same exact start, but this time it's not going to be for a purloin. We're going to be able to get a fingerprint right off the bat from this drink.
It's very valuable to be able to get that kind of early fingerprint because the suspicion for it is typically going to be very low if the sniper even knows that you have the fingerprint.
Yeah, and this is why we sort of talk about the difference between suspicion and threat. It's
Banana bread.
threatening for Boots to have a print. By
Oh,
the way, that was a banana split. Was that behind the
oh,
shark?
Lolit. No, it was not behind the shark. It was visible, and there was a purloin pending, by the way. Two smallmen. YerAnd gets credited for the banana split, and this game could be over very fast. There goes the list. Behind the shark can't be seen.
Wow. The only way you can see that list disappear behind the shark is if you notice Toby's triangle sort of bumping a little differently, but Smallman was a low light, and the person who delegated to him is also a low light, so you wouldn't even have been looking for the list.
And Pwndnoob had a window of like about 2 seconds to see that the list was gone before Irish came in and the shark blocked her take of it. Yeah, he thinks Irish took it. Yep. 2-0 YerAnd takes the first set, and the Aquarium pick really paying off so far.
That's a huge, huge start against someone who has beaten you twice already this season to go up to a 2-0 lead.
Or excuse me, it's 2-0. I confused myself for a second.
Wow.
Yeah, and now you got to think if you're noob, like what are you going to do as the spy in game three? You really don't want to go down 3-0 here, obviously. But what strategy are you going to use? Are you going to continue the aggression? Are you going to modify it to make a little bit better use of the cover, perhaps? Or are you going to play a more slowly paced game?
In my opinion, I think maybe now's a good time to go for something a bit slower paced. I don't know. It really depends. I mean, it's very interesting to see how a spy handles pressure like this because when you're behind, sometimes the natural instinct to just do something crazy kicks in. But on Aquarium, maybe you can get away with just a slower game, hide a nice bug behind the shark, and just don't let them have the mission count to shoot you.
Yep. Although if you're playing behaviorally and you expect the slow game here, I mean, you low light wheels right now for going to statues right away. You low light Papa Danger for going to statues right away. You can get so much value if you assume the spy is going to play slowly.
And this party is already pretty active, which is good for Pwndnoob. There's a nice little medium-sized bar rush, early statue visitors, early book visitors. So we'll see how Pwndnoob's going to handle this. Pwndnoob decides to join the rush at the bar. Could be a good time to get a delegate off, but if YerAnd's on top of it, it'll narrow the party down to about, 5 or 6 people? So we'll see.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation here. This bar is so full, so Noob's going to burn a lot of time here, if nothing else. But at the same time, could make it very easy to hide a delegate.
Yeah, and we are one of the slower characters, so it's not necessarily the greatest thing to waste time here, but on Aquarium you do have a lot of time. 4 minutes is definitely above the standard for an any 4 of 8 map.
It definitely is. The map is a little bigger than normal. It doesn't look as big as Modern does, but it actually has a pretty comparable floor plan, I would say. So we just direct purloined right there.
We did. I thought we were going to take the delegate. I mean, it's definitely in this situation, the sniper was tracking the bar a lot more closely because there were so many people there. In the first game, you could assume maybe they're not looking for the delegate or for the list to be gone yet, but in this game, I think YerAnd was definitely very on top of that bar. You're just hoping that YerAnd thinks, all right, one of those early visitors had the time to leave and delegate to Orange Sorry. But
Yes.
I don't know if it's going to work.
We'll see. I mean, YerAnd knew
Banana
very
bread.
well, memory-wise, who did what last game. We'll see if, again, he's got the same kind of track on it.
Really
It's
good
going to be really
contact
interesting.
coming off. A
Mhm.
lot of people in conversation, very few lowlights available. I think both STAs were in, so can't make any major assumptions about who has real BB or not. I think the question for us is just, is YerAnd aware that that was a direct purloin? And if so, maybe just waiting for Pwndnoob to complete, one more mission visibly, or at least have a chance to bug behind the shark to take the shot.
So yeah, you've got credit for Flirt DA and Purloin at this point, certainly. So YerAnd knows or should know that the game is getting close to being over. And if he's got suspects, he needs to wait for them to do one more thing that isn't those missions.
Yeah, I mean, once a purloin like that has gone off, and we're just hitting the 1 minute mark, you know the spy is going to be finishing. It's very rare for a spy to get a purloin done and then somehow not finish, unless that's the strategy they're going for to make you shoot a sieve. We
That was
tried
a
to
good
plant
bug
a
attempt.
bug.
Yeah, that was a solid attempt. Just we could not get in range. And
It
now
didn't
the
look like
Amba's
we were
going to
close
statues
enough.
again. Oh, we really don't want that. Oh, she's going to bar. That could be a little better because we maybe could get fingerprints in 50 seconds, but I doubt it. There is a fingerprint on the Venus statue on the far left, but I don't think we want to visit statues at this point.
No, and as Orange Sorry, we wouldn't even be able to get to them
Oh, here
quick
we
enough.
go.
There's the
Here
Amba
we go.
coming
Yeah,
again. We're
that's
going to
free.
try another bug.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's a free bug. I mean, why not take that bug? Amba takes the perfect pack while the shark is directly over us. That's just you can't do anything about that as the sniper.
Yeah,
I think
and
that was a good, well-timed shot too from your end.
we were talking a lot about, clever strategies that you can attempt on Aquarium, but the bread and butter of it is you can just get a bug behind the shark. And I think that's exactly what Pwndnoob needed to do here. Just a nice, consistent strategy to get the spy win in a way that, just often works on this map.
Yeah, I think that match was lost by Yeren not noticing the purloin in time. Often at higher levels, players could try to get real cute. You know, when a mission is difficult to guard, like for instance, when a bunch of people are at the bar, the spy will figure, "Hey, the sniper's going to be paying a special attention to it now. I'll do it at a time when they won't expect it." But sometimes it's just better to do it when conditions are favorable, and Pwndnoob did it there, and I think it paid off for him. So that was well played.
Yeah, and there's also potentially just sort of a mind game aspect of you don't expect them to do the same play again, especially when it
Yes.
didn't work the first time.
All right, so we have YerAnd who needs to spy now to preserve the lead. Pwndnoob can reel it back into a drawn first map if he can find the shot here.
Yeah, and momentum is absolutely huge. If YerAnd can take the first map 3-1, he'll be in a great position going into the rest of the set. But if Pwndnoob brings it back here, then, all bets are off again. We'd be right back to where we started, almost.
Very active party early. At least we have a lot of statue visitors, and we have Irish books over there in the lower left.
And we have an Orange Sorry pick
Yep.
again. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it was random, but either way, we might see her slowness become an issue again. Last game it was really hard for Pwndnoob to try to chase Prince or do anything that involved moving around,
Oh,
and that's fine.
we got sunshined at the instant we left the conversation there. Unfortunately, we stopped there hoping that I think Amba would come next to us, but he did not.
Yeah, I mean that's basically the one strategy that Orange Sorry has no problem with is getting the bugs. And in fact, she's one of the better characters for doing a walking bug because it's just a lot easier to have control over your movement as you pass the amba because of the slow walking speed.
To bar again, we might see delegate or not delegate, but purloin occur in every single one of these. We do grab the delegate here.
Not a direct one though. Well, YerAnd is the one who did the delegate last time with the BB split. We'll see if YerAnd has another clever strategy like that in mind for this delegate. I think that's a middle shark crossing. If we delegate behind the shark, that's something.
Yeah, we
And
do
that's
so,
exactly
but we
what we do.
split. We also split, and also Sig's not going anywhere. He's not going to the bar.
Oh no,
Yep.
that's not great. It's probably because he has a book, but he needs to go slam it in, and he's not. He's not doing that.
Yeah, he's
That's
bugged out.
unfortunate.
Yeah, we're not going to get that. So we got to reevaluate our plans. Still plenty of time. About 2 minutes. We're one flirt away. Bunch of options here. I mean, I might start to think about bookcases. Oh, we do a kind of weird bump. I guess that's to give us an excuse. No, we do not go to the bookcase. I thought we were using that bounce as an excuse to go flirt, but we were not.
I mean, it can just be low light fishing. Pwndnoob is a behavioral sniper and will hand out low lights, but I believe Pwndnoob has not low lit YerAnd yet this season, even though YerAnd has fished for it in both of their previous matches.
I don't really know what we want to do here. We could maybe consider a time addle. That's probably a bad idea. Time addle is just so weak on Aquarium most of the time. We could wait for a low shark and try to bug here, but that's going to take an awfully long time of standing at this window. And yeah, we're not going to do it.
we're just gonna finish the flirt, which is it's really not the ideal thing you want to be doing right now. I feel like YerAnd just thought might as well get it done. That's a very quick conversation leave after finishing the flirt. Could look like someone delegated to you. We might just be going for direct purloin. And I don't know if that was really an intended strategy or just, there's a minute left. I don't have any other plans. I can just make it look like someone delegated to me. And there it is. The list is gone. Pwndnoob just has to decide if anyone could have delegated to Sari. And I don't even think the answer is yes. I think we just made it look like we could have been delegated to by someone, but the people beside us were Queen with her book there and the seduction target. Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
seduction target had just been to the bar because he did finally
And in
go
the
there,
red.
so it could look like Seek delegated to us.
that's
Contact
bad. We
coming
wanted
off.
we wanted Irish in that conversation, I think. So now it's all about patience for Pwndnoob. I don't think YerAnd's going to finish, or if he does, it'll be with something obvious with 5 seconds left to go. So really, this is all about whether or not Pwndnoob shoots in the next 10 seconds or so, and I don't think he's going to.
No, if this was a middle shark, we could bug. We're gonna go for it anyway. Bug under the fin. You have maybe a moment for
No,
it,
this
but
isn't
no.
going to work. This is
And
going to
in
be
the
stared
red.
down, and here comes the bug probably. Yeah, they're just going to be looking right at it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I think if there was really a clear case for who could have delegated to you, maybe, but I think Pwndnoob correctly knew that there wasn't really a good option for who could have delegated to Orange Sari, so he would have had to be watching her during the last 20 seconds to see if she did anything. And, you know,
The problem wasn't so much who could have delegated. The problem was more who could be done in that game, and we didn't frame anybody who could be done. And really, we also eliminated some important suspects with the DA, I think. So we're 2-2. That's going to be a little disappointing after YerAnd came out strong to bring it out 2-0. And now we move on to Pwndnoob's doubled map, which is, of course, Gallery.
yeah, I mean, in a match like this where you kind of only get one doubled pick followed by a bunch of singles, you really want to make your doubled count. And we can assume that YerAnd chose Aquarium because he felt he could get an advantage here. He felt he had some new strategies in mind because, again, neither of these players have really been doing a ton of Aquarium. And we saw it. I mean, we saw YerAnd had one amazing spy game with the BB split into a delegate. But we saw that Pwndnoob was ready for it as well with his own delegate strategies. So I'm not surprised to see them come out even, but it's definitely not what YerAnd was hoping for.
Indeed. Pwndnoob will spy first on Gallery, and if I see orange dress, I'll start to become fairly suspicious.
Well, it's Smallman
Of
instead.
course it's Smallman. Of course, I should have known.
And I believe in their first match of the season, Pwndnoob was able to get a win as Smallman on Gallery. And,
Boom, highlight, just like that. That's how
well,
you
of
do it.
course you highlight. I mean, I think it was just in the cast yesterday we saw Smallman on Gallery again, and I said the same thing I'm going to say now. We've been seeing Smallman in Gallery from, I believe, every single match where Gallery is played. It is such a well-known strategy at this point. I have my doubts about if spies can get away with it. It worked for Pwndnoob back in week 4, but I don't know if it's going to work again.
So unfortunately, we walked in this convo to do things, and now we can't do either of those things. So we'll either have to look active or burn some time here. I don't know what YerAnd is doing with his scope there. He would look zoomed in on the front conversation, which you basically never do.
Yeah, Pwndnoob doesn't seem very happy. The camera's just kind of shaking over and over. That's just a standing bug.
That was very
And it
visible.
seems to have worked. But
I'm not so certain. I mean, YerAnd is definitely a person who will wait for confirmation.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I'll be very surprised if Pwndnoob doesn't get shot. And it's worth noting the
Oh,
previous game
God.
that I was referencing, week 4, where Pwndnoob was the spy as Smallman on Gallery. He got away with another standing bug that time as well, but it was, at least with one person between them. This time it was just right next to the ambassador. Now we're completing inspects. If you're suspicious of the bug, I think now is when you would shoot. Maybe not. He's not done with flirt or
YerAnd looks a
with mission.
little too suspicious of what's going on in the back. He really is cutting off his field of view. That inspect was barely visible, as was that pickup of the briefcase. Um, mm, we are not in good shape here. I think as YerAnd, Noob just needs basically a fingerprint to win the game at this point.
Yeah, YerAnd wasn't really watching Pwndnoob with that first briefcase return. I mean, it was on screen, but I just don't think it was the focus of YerAnd's eyes. And now we are in the Smallman spot at the back of the conversation.
I don't know what we're doing here, though. That just increases your suspicion when all you need is a fingerprint.
Right. It needs to be like second level mind games here of saying, look, I'm Smallman, I'm in the back of the conversation, but I'm not doing anything here. Taking an innocent drink. Yeah, I think that's a good decision.
No,
You
it's
want
not
to
an
get your
innocent drink. It's a hard
oh,
fingerprint, but we
hard
fail it.
fingerprint. Wow. Either way, I think having a drink is okay. You can still get another briefcase if you have this drink in hand, but you also really need to do the seduce.
Yeah, time is really
Unfortunately,
becoming a factor. We have 55 seconds. He needs a fingerprint somewhere. There's going to be one in the front statue there, and he also needs to hit either 2 flirts or a green flirt.
unfortunately, Seek entering
Oh,
across
a
from us
red.
isn't the greatest. A red banana bread.
Banana
Oh
bread.
no. The cough is not visible at all, though, and it looks like
You know what
YerAnd is
that
just staying
means.
calm, taking the lowlights.
You know what it means when you can't see the cough half the time.
It
All right,
means
so
you're a bad
purloin,
sniper and you
green,
should get
green
tilted.
purloin.
Banana bread.
There's the actual
Ooh.
banana bread. So now it'll come down to the purloin. I don't think
Ooh.
Aaron's seen it, and Pwndnoob's just. Oh no! Ooh,
Nope, he's seen
ooh.
it. I mean,
I think he tried to dance there, but it did not quite work.
that was a case of a game just sort of going off the rails. Pwndnoob had a plan, get the second fingerprint and do the flirt, and neither of them were happening. And so instead it became a banana bread purloin. And unfortunately, he was in the Smallman spot. He was highlit as Smallman, and people are just aware of that. I think the counterintuitive Smallman strategy could have really worked well since, he already got away with that bug and was getting away with the inspect and a print. But he had to resort to the common Smallman strat, and people are just onto it at this point.
I think he should have just aggressively flirted, like, and just follow Seek around until you're done, and then get that last fingerprint somewhere. It wouldn't have been too hard to do that. Instead, he let just a little bit too much time burn off the clock to finish sort of the safe way. And now that one's painful because you really had that game won, I think, as Noob, and now YerAnd in a position to go up on you a set again.
Yeah, the bug is basically where he could have had it. If he got that difficult print, it would have been really easy to just get 2 more flirts and
Yep.
win. But games at this level, or really in all levels, can just turn on one small thing like that.
All right, we are prepping for the next gallery game here, and I will once again be super interested to see if we're selecting our spies here, because so far all signs point to yes, as the Magic 8 Ball says.
Yeah, it might also be watching replays. If I'm YerAnd and I see that Smallman got a bug off at some point, I would want to check where it is, especially if I then see that it's a standing bug, because these players just have a history of getting, varied sorts of bugs off against each other, and you just really want to know what your opponent's going for today.
Indeed, and we get in here this time. We are Carlos, so that's fairly unsuspicious. Just hanging out, looking at some art. Oh, tempting to bug there, but we have a glass in hand. Probably
Yeah,
don't want to do that bug anyway.
usually you do the bugs at the painting pads on this side, the side that we're at now. I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone do one on the other side, usually because the ambassador doesn't walk there as often. Usually the
That's
ambo
correct.
walks when they're coming from outside.
Yeah,
And
there's considerably more traffic on the right side of gallery from the sniper's perspective, just because that's where the door is.
here's a nice early print. It's a pretty interesting briefcase return because the ambo was kind of moving a
Oh,
lot. That's a
great
nice stomp.
stop, though. Yeah, great stop.
That's really good. And that's exactly the kind of thing Pwndnoob is looking for, but Pwndnoob didn't like the stop. Pwndnoob seemingly disagrees with us. Either didn't like the stop or just, knows
Banana
that
bread.
YerAnd has a tendency for early prints. There's a
A
banana
lot of
bread
low
coming
lights on
off.
that. That's a lot of low lights.
Yeah, the only good thing is the SDA is in the front conversation, so we're not going to get any highlights for real BB. But there was a zoom in on
Yeah,
text, Carlos there, noticing that we are talking.
I feel like we're pretty suspicious at this point. We're going to have to get a real sneaky fingerprint to win this game, I think, like a drink take that's not noticed or some such. 40% flirt, not the worst thing in the world. We're basically guaranteed for 3 flirt here. Looks like we're going to go to Brooks, pick up another flirt.
Yeah, that's not bad. Is there still a print on that bottom statue? Because if that stays there, you can actually go for a print swap finish instead of the inspect swap finish.
We barely avoid getting sunshined there. That would have been a big punch in the gut if Twin had left before we could get that flirt off. We're going to take the book away. No, we're putting it back.
Oh,
Sorry. I thought we
it's
took
gone.
it.
Oh, that was
Freeze.
another attempt for the briefcase, but
Oh!
we weren't able to get it. This is bouncing around the statues, and the Amba's going back to that same statue pad, leaving the print there again.
Those bounces not so good through the doorway, but what can you do? Yeah, the first bounce was really good against the Amba. The second bounce, he turned around just a little too much, I think. But still, overall, the impression was pretty good.
We have the option for the print swap finish. The seduce is done. We can wait maybe a little bit and then go to that statue, get the fingerprint, and swap it. And I don't know about Pwndnoob, a lot of snipers aren't expecting it because they, what we're used to is the inspect swap, not the print swap. And so you can sort of mess with the sniper's expectations, even if logically, if they thought about it, oh no, Pearls got to it, and YerAnd had trouble slowly turning around there. Oh, that's not what YerAnd wanted. That would have been an amazing finish. Trying to go for the conversation, but of course it's too full. Oh, never mind. It's the briefcase.
Put it
Wow.
down. Oh, no, he's seen. Oh, you've got to stop and put that down. I mean, it's better just to see if you can get away without it being seen.
I think
Boy.
Pwndnoob is
Stop.
very onto YerAnd. I mean, there's no reason for YerAnd to think he's a major suspect. A purloin happening after putting the briefcase down. If it was a green, it would have been amazing. Since it's a white, I don't
think
know
it's
if
been
Pwndnoob
seen
is
yet.
looking for it.
4.
No,
He
it's not
hasn't
being
seen
seen.
it. He's worried about statues. That's it. YerAnd wins the game as the spy. Noob just let the purloin go for a little too long there. My goodness, what an aggressive and clever play there at the end. I mean, we would have been saying that it looked kind of dumb if it hadn't worked, of course, but I think that that's the best play under the circumstances because you're not going to bug. Probably he's watching it like a hawk. You're not going to be able to inspect. I think that was the way to go for sure.
I think if it hadn't worked, I wouldn't have called it a bad play or a silly play. If it hadn't have worked, I would have said, well, if it was a green, it would have worked, so it was worth it. But it worked anyway, even though it was a white. Because, the sniper still isn't necessarily looking at you for maybe being about to take a drink after you've put the briefcase down. And also, it just looks like Pwndnoob was distracted with other things.
So 4-2 now, and YerAnd going to have a chance here to come away with a map victory on the doubled map that Noob selected with any win in the next couple of games.
Yeah, and that's sort of the exact situation we saw on Aquarium, though. YerAnd off to an early lead, Pwndnoob saving it. And so we're going to see if Pwndnoob's able to do the same thing here. Again, falling behind is it's just brutal. If you fall behind here by 2 points, then you're going to need another spy win to catch up and then another spy win to get in the lead. And despite what we've been seeing, it's very hard to get spy wins past either of these two snipers.
And coming up next after Gallery, we have a map well known for its extremely swingy tons of spy wins, he said with dripping sarcasm, and that's Courtyard. Courtyard is not a map where you make up deficits typically.
You know what? You say that, but let's wait and see when we get to Courtyard.
Fair enough. So Noob under a lot of pressure spying now. He's going to get a green seduce right off the bat. That'll help.
Yep, that's nice. It's not just nice for the percentage, it's nice because it frees you up and just gives you more time to plan your other options. And my god, look at that. Seek enters right next to us. But that means the timer's not even done.
We didn't want that, I think. That we're going to have to wait a little bit. That's okay, though. We hit the green right off the bat. We can afford to spend some time looking unsuspicious and timer flirting here.
Yeah, if we hit another green, we'll be in a really great position. And there's the timer coming down. There's the flirt, 85%. It's still not horrible. It means that whenever you do need the last flirt, you can just kind of enter anywhere in a conversation near them. You don't have to worry about being obvious or about having a spot right next to them.
I don't think we spend any more time in this CC, though. Like, there's no... Okay, there we go. I think that was a wasted 10 or 15 seconds. It literally gets you nothing to do that, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, against some snipers, they're watching to see, who leaves immediately after getting what looks like a timer flirt, but I don't think that's what's on YerAnd's mind.
And also, he had already spent a ton of time in that CC, so I think he was very clear to leave almost as soon as he finished that flirt. We do have a single statue inspect, get highlight for it, so now we're on the radar.
Yeah, I think that's okay. The question is, what are we doing outside here? Are we going to try for a bug on this ambassador? I mean, I know that these players can sometimes get away with, bugs that seem like the sniper would be watching them, but I don't think that's one to go for. Pwndnoob agrees, not taking it. It was just a little detour, but I'm sort of wondering what Pwndnoob's plan is. That was some nice bouncing at the doorway, but not even on screen, even if the sniper wanted to low light you for it, or barely on screen at least.
And we ended up redirecting back outside, and the problem with that is we're burning even more time now. Fortunately, Sig come.
Oh,
Oh no, we
what
missed the
was
spot.
that?
Nothing there.
But we
Oh,
didn't
that
even need
looks.
to get the spot next to Seek. Oh, God.
Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah,
We could have
YerAnd
been
didn't
too
look
far
bad at
away
all.
from it.
Yeah, that's too bad. Just a little bit of pathing, as Tobo would say. Actually, that's not at all what he says. He has a different catchphrase, but that's my new catchphrase: is just a little bit of pathing. And YerAnd now gonna definitely win Gallery and in danger of running away with it now. 5-2 in favor of YerAnd.
That's really unfortunate. But even besides that, I really wasn't sure what Pwndnoob's plan was for the rest of that game. So Pwndnoob really needs the sniper win here.
I think he just like was trying to do good pathing in the doorway, which he did. Got redirected, realized, oh, I'm kind of running out of time here. I need to get moving. I really need to make sure I get this flirt done with Sick. But again, you can enter anywhere in that convo if there was a spot, and I would have to go back and look to see if there was, and you'd been able to get it.
It might have
Uh,
just been nerves. Sometimes you forget that you only have 15% left and you just sort of follow your habit of entering right next to the seduction target. YerAnd as Tex, also known as Carlos, again, I think it was YerAnd who was just Tex last time. Uh, so we still have the option for the swap finish. Maybe that's a specific strategy that YerAnd had in mind to beat
yeah, he might
Pwndnoob.
want to do swap finishes. Carlos, one of the two best, along with Taft, for that purpose.
Yeah, it looks like he wasn't able to do it the first time, so he's going for it now. My God, this bouncing around the
Oh, that was
conversation.
insane. That was good. That was real good. That's hard to do too. That one.
Yeah, that's just more low light fishing, and Pwndnoob is not giving it to him. And you have to wonder what Pwndnoob's mindset is at this point, because if you're behind, you can start to get more desperate, just kind of hand out more low lights, or you can, maybe do the right call here and say, no, YerAnd fishes for them. I have to stay disciplined and just not hand them out like candy.
Now, this is psychologically definitely the time, if you're hearing that you want to play a real slow game. You give him every opportunity to make a mistake that you can here. Don't eliminate suspects. Pay attention who's going to statues. Just play a nice, slow, framey kind of game right here, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, because you didn't go for the swap finish last time, Pwndnoob doesn't necessarily know that it's something you're thinking of doing, so you could get away with it.
Yeah.
Pwndnoob has no idea that we were going for that statue that Pearls was gonna get, that Pearls got for us last time.
Oh, we
Slow
get
start
forced out
though.
of that window. Yeah, there we go. That might take. And it does. Oh, just barely, though.
32%. Wow. If it had been 31, that would have been
Uh
awful.
oh, green purloin.
Purloin. Yeah, this purloin's not as not as crazy as the last one, and we are marked suspicious, but I don't know if it's for the
That was just for
statue visit or
statue
the
visit.
purloin.
Yeah. All right, flirt is done. There's been 2 rejectors since we did the green. Here comes Salmon taking the list. It
All right.
vanishes. It looks white too. He's just going to get shot, maybe. No, he knows. I think he knows who was in that reject chain. I think Noob is in a bit of control of this.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways the sniper can react to that. One of them is they go and take all the lowlights outside,
Oh,
and the other
yeah, he
is they
doesn't
just
know.
keep watching their suspects, and that's, yeah, exactly it. If
I
Pwndnoob had
think
gone outside and low-lit everyone, I'd say, he's not really sure, but he was keeping his eyes on both Tex and Salmon.
Irish is a suspect too, whether he knows it or not. We put it down. Man, I'm not sure I like the briefcase there. We're in a little bit of trouble now because we've been super, and now we should just die. Like Noob should just shoot us here. Yeah,
Yep.
there we go. Yeah, too active. Too active. I think I would have liked a slower game than that.
I mean, at lower levels, if there's a green purloin chain that goes for two people and you can't even tell if the person who took it got a green fade or a white fade, that can be a win against most snipers. But, at this level, just super, super on top of it, knew who was in the chain. Well, might have missed Irish's reject, but was very aware of Tex's. And it just makes a lot of sense to take the shot when Tex, therefore, after that, complete statues.
So here we go on the singled maps, which are Courtyard, Library, Terrace, and Modern. All YerAnd needs to do is go evensies the rest of the way to win the match. Noob needs to pick up a 1 set somewhere. 1 set 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 1 set
Yeah, and it's absolutely possible. It was vital for Noob to hold on there, so he's definitely got to be feeling good about that. And so now we're going to see. I mean, it seems like we have different opinions on this because yes, like you say, Courtyard is sniper favorite. It's very hard to sneak a spy win by. But I said this before the match started. These players are going to be going for bold strategies. They've been doing it on every venue, and especially on Courtyard. I don't think either of these players is just going to go for, a slow game with inspect, contact, flirt, and then, trying to just do some hard tell in the last minute.
Banana bread.
Indeed. I mean, the problem with Courtyard, and that was a pretty well timed banana bread. There was a little bit of an unfortunate rotation going along. I think General and possibly Smallman could have been low lit. But yeah, the problem is that there's just nowhere to hide on this map. Everywhere you go, you have to, or any cover that you have, you kind of have to create for yourself using misdirection.
Yeah, and getting an early banana bread without letting off many lowlights gives you a lot of options for moving forward. But what I'm really hoping to see from these players is good planning for the hard tell. That was almost planning for it. We could have had a reverse drive-by bug there, but unfortunately we had a drink in our hand, or the timing just didn't really work out.
Yeah, and it's all about what mission are you going to do. Noob has a lot more time to play with. Got away with an early green test time ad, but I mean, what are you going to do with that time? Is the question. So far, we don't have any fingerprints, and we're for the time we've spent, we're kind of behind the curve. We maybe should go back and flirt here. I think just to make sure we make steady progress. We do a
That
little
was a
bit of a
nice
briefcase cancel, yeah.
cancel. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's nice stuff. I think what Pwndnoob has been doing has been setting up for bugs, but it hasn't
That's an
been panning
unlikely
out.
spot, bug wise. Yeah, and this conversation is bad. Yeah, he wisely leaves it early. Probably wouldn't even have walked there in the first place. Yeah, just make some flirt progress here. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you really just have to pick the right spot to get a hard tell by without the sniper seeing, and it just hasn't been happening. Toby and the ambassador are hanging out together. That means you can go to the statues on the other side and do a
Oh,
swap.
red
But
test. That hurts. That hurts real bad. Now we need two more flirts with a minute 45 left to go. We don't have inspects done. We have basically DA done, and that's it. Yeah, we're gonna have to chase here. I think that's correct from Noob. You got to be aggressive here. Doesn't walk into the best spot in the convo though.
oh no, at this point, I'm really worried
Greens
about the
it.
flirt.
Greens
Green
it.
though, yeah,
So we're
that's
good
good.
with a mid-range white now, which is fine. Oh, here comes a bug, maybe. Yes, very
Yes.
nice. Yeah, there you go.
And we were right in the middle of the sniper's field of vision, but it's a reverse drive-by, and Irish was giving us some cover there.
And the
Uh,
rotation from YerAnd was just, it was the perfect time to do. Oh, missed the pad a little bit there. That could be bad.
yeah, so we are highlight. The highlight happens as we're stepping into the statues, so I don't know if it's for the statues or maybe for the bug. If you suspect that bug, though, now is when you have to shoot because you have to assume the flirt could be done. And since we're not shot, that means Pwndnoob might
Yeah.
have gotten away with that bug.
Yeah, I think YerAnd is going to lose this game. Like, unless Noob, he's really suspicious, just waiting for the one more flirt. But I think if he was that suspicious of him, he would have already shot him. I think that'll be it.
Yeah, the only thing that could have gone wrong is Smallman leaving, but that didn't happen, and there's not going to be any shot coming off. Zooming in to
It's
look for
just
a purloin.
yeah.
Yeah, see, we're a suspect, but we're not that much of a suspect.
All it takes is the one good bug. That's why you got to guard it like a hawk on this map.
Yeah, and that's actually sort of a running theme because that came up on Aquarium as well. There's a lot of different strategies you can go for, but the cleanest, the bread and butter on both Aquarium and Courtyard is just getting a hidden bug.
And YerAnd, I think, just left that small chink in the armor. The only thing that beats him there is that extremely well timed bug while he's in the awkward rotation position with Irish. And that's all it took. It was just that half a second of incorrect positioning. And there you go. And so Noob now with a chance to tie the set up and put himself back in the driver's seat because he does indeed win the 8-8 if that's the way the match finishes. And all he has to do is snipe on Courtyard.
Yeah, and we're talking about, the importance of how just one small thing can turn a game around. And that is sort of how Courtyard works because pretty much every guest is going to have BB. Well, some of them won't have real, but in general, you'll be crediting most people with BB. It's really easy for most people to flirt on Courtyard. A lot of people get statues because it only needs one visit. And so the game really does come down to the one moment where the spy does that hard tell. And, that's sort of that's how camping can work. But particularly on Courtyard, if you just miss that one moment, it's over. So even though you can feel kind of comfortable as the sniper on it, there's definitely some stress from knowing that you can just lose in an instant if you miss the bug.
Yep. And here we go. It'll be interesting to see how YerAnd approaches this spy game. Are you going to play aggressively or are you going to play slowly? I really think we've been erring on the side of playing over aggressively, and I'm saying that of all people. So I really want to see just a nice framey game. Courtyard, it's kind of hard to do that relative to everything else because the sniper can usually be pretty confident that someone's not done. But still, I would maybe slow it down just a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, Courtyard, though, I think is typically a venue where sort of the rules that you might use on other venues don't apply. Because again, you say slow play, but with Courtyard, it's not always really the option because slow play can sometimes lead to just, rushing a hardtail in the last minute at an inopportune moment. So the slow play on Courtyard is basically just getting fingerprints. So we'll see if that's something YerAnd is going to go for.
And the good fingerprint is what you really want to
Banana
do.
bread.
Oh, I like this. That's great. So there's only one or two lowlights there. I think just one, just queen. Oh yeah, highlights. Look at this. Look at the value provided here. And didn't even get the lowlight that was available, which was queen.
Well, there are 3 other lowlights. There's Sorry, Twin, and Disney. Is that for...
I think
they
that
out of conversation?
so one no Irish was for splitting. I don't know what the rest of them are for.
Interesting. Very interesting. But either way, we don't have real BB, so I don't know if that's really the outcome YerAnd wanted because, well, it might be
I mean, it
actually
was
because there are a
costless. He
lot of
didn't get any.
highlights.
He didn't get any lowlights from it. I don't think. I mean, I
I'm
see 3 people lowlit, but I don't think it was for banana bread.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's for something else. And now there's another fake
Banana
contact
bread.
coming. This is a strategy.
I don't understand it, but
Rocker gets highlight for this
it's.
BB.
Oh
Oh,
no no!
whoa! That bug. We're about to be shot. We're just waiting to line up the shot. YerAnd knows it. YerAnd is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
too
even
bad.
dancing. It's just like maybe if I keep moving, you won't shoot me. Can I move
Well,
for the next 3 minutes?
that was certainly unconventional. Hmm. Yeah, there was the classic courtyard bug dip there. That even if you don't see the arm, you can shoot for that. The 2 banana breads was interesting. Pwndnoob was certainly confused by it. It looked like, but then we just did a bug. I'm not sure what the plan was going in there.
You're hoping that the sniper is so confused that they don't see that bug. You're hoping that maybe they've started forming a story in their mind about who would have had a reason to do 2 of them, which, we wouldn't because we had no DA or SDA either time. But now it's back to 5-5 on both of the double picks. YerAnd, started off 2-0. YerAnd really had the lead basically the whole time, and now it's back to a tie, and that means Pwndnoob is probably feeling pretty good about it, and YerAnd is feeling maybe like he's blown it. I mean, I think the amount of stress for both of these players at this point is probably astronomical.
So I mean, we got Modern coming up, and it's possible to sweep Modern pretty well. Terrace, though, is another kind of a splitty map that kind of favors the sniper at this level, I would say. Oh, we're on Library first. That's right. Library is another map that can go either way.
Yeah, well, I think at the higher division levels, I think actually Platinum might have the highest win rate for snipers on Library. I think it's something like 79%.
Yeah.
And in fact, yeah, YerAnd's spy win rate on Library in, let's see, all seasons, 22%. Yeah, this season, YerAnd's win rate on Library as spy is 14%. My God. Pwndnoob's spy win rate on Library, 36%, but 100% sniper win rate on Library from both of
Jesus.
them. My God.
Well, something's going to give here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to just see 2 sniper wins here. But again, remember, at this level, players are not only are players researching each other, but 2 players with such a history like these, they know that they both have 100% sniper win rates. So we're not going to be seeing some sort of slow standard spy game. We're going to be seeing both of them try to do whatever it takes to get a spy win through here.
Kind of a classic time to purloin there, but really it's a fingerprint. YerAnd was on the purloin too. That would have been a dangerous time to do it. But we hit the green fingerprint. That will help, but we're burning a little bit of time. Okay, now we're moving.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We did do an early time ad, as Pwndnoob likes to do. It's
Hmm.
not even particularly notable, but it doesn't look like we're a major suspect for it, but there were some lowlights.
He was really worried about. Here's the problem with that. He was worried about the bug there. But the problem is that because he was worried about the bug, he saw you walk in and talk instantly. So that maybe increased your suspicion just a tiny bit.
Well, we had a drink in the hand that we would have had to use to bug the ambassador, but I don't know if YerAnd knew that.
Yeah, the pillar's blocking that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's sort of when mind games can go wrong. You do something hoping that you won't
Oh,
look
bug.
suspicious for it. Oh,
Nope, no opportunity. Almost was, but not quite.
yeah. I mean, usually if the ambassador is walking by there, they're not going to get close enough for the bug. Because he curved in, it might have hit, but I don't know if Pwndnoob was ready for it because of that.
I'd be awfully worried about Oprah right now if I were the sniper. She's been hiding in a lot of pillar shadows.
Yeah, and especially for snipers like these two, they're not necessarily campers. They're trying to build up
Banana bread.
suspicion on people. There's a banana bread coming off. It's a BB split, and if we didn't have an SDA with us, it might go really well, but we did have an SDA, so there's no
Banana
chance of
bread.
being low lit for it. And then another banana bread immediately after we enter conversation.
YerAnd is
That's a nice
reacting great.
strategy.
He's just getting lowlights. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. And now the field is limited to 8, which means that over half the party has been low lit. And we
And
have
that's
Seduce and DA done, and that's real bad.
Yeah, that's 2 games in a row, I believe, where we've been seeing these interesting banana bread strategies, but neither sniper has been falling for them. When you do banana breads like that, you're really hoping that the sniper just starts building up suspicion on people who had a reason to do 2 of them, who moved between banana breads. But in this case, YerAnd, just like you said, did the smart thing. Stay calm, take your lowlights, narrow the party down, and at this point, it's going to be really hard for Pwndnoob to finish missions. The only thing in Pwndnoob's favor is the difficult drink print, which is probably not credited, but I can't even say
Yeah, I
that
mean, you still have to
confidently.
do a hard tell is the problem. I mean, like, even if you get that other fingerprint without any suspicion at all, you're going to have to get a bug done. You're going to have to do center statues or something like that. You know, you're going to have to do something very overt. And we're starting to see the problem with so few potential spies remaining. You're able to pay more attention to. Oh, that's a cough, and he's just dead
Oh,
now. That was seen. Oh God,
bad.
don't miss that. Wisely waits until the coast is clear to take that shot, and YerAnd will have a chance to reestablish his lead. What I was going to say is, as you get fewer and fewer suspects on library, you can look at fewer and fewer people and get more accurate behavioralist information, if nothing else. We started to see lowlights come out on some of those remaining people because he was watching them closely. Because he didn't have to look at anything else. I'm just like, well, that's a low light, and that's a low light, and you start to whittle it down really badly.
Yeah, that's the downside of going for that type of banana bread play. It has to really be worth it because otherwise you're just letting off too many lowlights.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like all these fakes that we have going on. I mean, you have to fake once in a while to make your point or to frame someone or, just ensure that they're not getting the real DA lowlights. But I mean, you can't do it this often. It's just been real sloppy.
Yeah,
And,
and we
and
have a
that last green just gave so many lowlights too.
Yeah, and we have a really good point coming from Warning Track in chat. Noob is winning when he's not reaching into the usual bag of tricks. The spy games that have been winning have just been the standard games where you make good mission progress, you sneak a bug in, and that's that. When they've been trying to do the clever stuff, it hasn't been working.
Yeah, and
Even though
YerAnd knows the
traditionally that's what
cuteness
works
really
for
well
them.
too. Yeah, YerAnd knows all about Pwndnoob's bag of tricks. I think is the problem at this point. Just play solid SpyParty. I think is the best advice.
And so we're going to see YerAnd's opportunity here to get a spy win past a platinum level sniper. Hasn't happened all season, really.
The safety comes off a couple times on Smallman going to center statues at the very beginning. That could be dangerous for Pwndnoob if he assigns that much suspicion. And using the shift key to zoom is not recommended, kids.
Wait, you don't use the shift key to oh, well, shift is safety off,
That is
not zoom.
correct.
Oh, okay. I
That's
thought
why I
I
don't
thought there
recommend
was
it.
some weird control scheme that I had no idea about until now, like another way to take safety off. Okay.
Noob just
The
looking at things
Amba
with shift. Yeah.
Oh, the Amba almost gave us an opportunity for a reverse drive by there.
Banana
That could have
bread.
been really nice. We're gonna go for this
Come
bug
on.
after the BB. That's exactly it, right on
Not seen.
screen.
Way
But
too
for
much
just a
camera movement.
moment, yeah,
Way too much camera movement. That was invisible.
nice.
We
Yeah,
are marked
YerAnd
suspicious, though.
took really good opportunity of it. Yeah, I mean, You might be marking YerAnd suspicious here because you know he could have had the opportunity to bug. If you saw it, though, it would be a shot. So at this point, it's really just going to be a question of how much does Pwndnoob believe that Salmon could have done the bug? Does he have a hunch that it was possible, or was it just this person could have bugged, I'll highlight them and keep watching them?
Noob really doesn't like Salmon, but he also really doesn't like Smallman. And this is a good play. I like his positioning in the circle, because now he can leave and go flirt with the actual ST Duke, and it doesn't look like he's chasing, because it looks like he's flirting with Carlos.
Well, looking like you're flirting might not be a problem either way. But no, there is a lot of good mindset there. I really like it when a spy sort of looks like they're flirting with someone and then just never goes next to them again. It can really throw people off. I don't know about on library, but especially on something like pub.
Don't purloin.
You
Okay,
need
there.
to.
Good. I was really afraid he was going to purloin there.
So what's Smallman up to? Not
Smallman's been
much.
pretty active. I mean, he went to Yellow Books. He's been moving around from convo to convo. I can see why Pwndnoob considers him a problem.
Banana bread coming off when both of us are in conversation.
Good
YerAnd leaves.
lowlights.
What is this
I don't think
stop?
that's correct,
Oh,
is it?
it's picking up the brief. I don't think you sip before picking up the
I
briefcase,
mean, I
do
think they
you?
can. I think I've seen it. I wouldn't shoot for it.
It's very rare. Uh, that's another interesting stop. Interesting. Oh God, this is
It's totally
the
unseen. It's
tech
not seen at
totally
all.
off screen. If it was on screen, it would have looked really bad. The idea, I mean, I think we can blow up this text since it's been mentioned before and they're doing it on stream. The idea is that only the AI, after putting down the briefcase, will take a sip and then
Oh,
cancel the sip without moving. If you go near a wall, though, you can twitch into the wall to make it look like you just stopped out of nowhere when really it was because you were moving into the wall. In this case, though, the twitch was visible. You could see that there was a twitch, but it wasn't visible because it was not on screen. And that's the end
back
of
to the
my TED
briefcase.
Talk.
Yeah, and we've got Smallman going to a different color bookcase now. Wow, we're really working on this low light here. I don't think we're going to get it, though.
Oh, wow.
He's
We did
really
it. We
trying to
did
be
it
seen doing
again.
it. Yeah, I don't know. I just play SpyParty. This is too cute. Way too cute. You got a
I mean,
minute
that one
left
was a
now.
lot better executed because we were facing the front and there was no visible step towards it. Like the first one, we had to set up for it really awkwardly by doing a strange curve into the railing. But I mean, either way, like you said, it's not mattering. It's not going to earn a low light. So
Yeah, I mean, Smallman needs to get shot here for us to win this game. Oh, God, that's ugly, too. I don't think we're going to win this one. We're
are
just
we going to
way too
time
far behind.
add? Uh, 40 seconds left. Amba leaving another print. There's the time ad. It's not on screen. We're not really being looked at this window. We're
But he
picking up a
gets the low light
statue.
Smallman now, probably. Yeah, we're dead.
And yeah.
Kaboom. I don't know. That's too cute. I mean, like, if you have to be low light for that to be worth it. He spent like a minute doing that.
Yeah, that was just like tragedy in slow motion. I mean, we knew that YerAnd was a suspect. Um, Pwndnoob is confirming to us that he did see the bug, and he also saw the watch check
Yeah.
into a split. He didn't know that it was a time ad, but he saw that there was a watch check and then immediate walk away. So
Another point to make about that is that if you're going to do a play like that, do it before the incredibly suspicious thing. Like, don't bug before you do that. Do that, get the low light, and then do all your shenanigans. Otherwise, the
yeah,
sniper will be like, okay, that looked good, but, I thought he bugged earlier, so I'm not going to light him. So now we're running out of time here for YerAnd. He's got 2 maps left, needs to win one of them.
wow, and yeah, I mean, this is what is it? It goes to 9 basically. So
Goes to
each
9 unless Pwndnoob gets to 8.
and that's because Pwndnoob finished higher in the regular season. Okay,
That
so
is
Pwndnoob needs
correct.
8, YerAnd needs 9, and so because of that, even though they're tied, Pwndnoob is a little bit ahead here. And whoever wins this gets a straight ticket to Diamond, which some people would say isn't necessarily a reward.
No,
Diamond
it's
is a
not. It's
scary,
really not.
scary place
You
to
don't want to
be.
be in Diamond.
You don't want to be in
Diamond.
Diamond, but I bet the Diamond players don't want either of these players with them either.
I would agree entirely with that. Oh,
And
goodness. So, Terrace.
Terrace, this is another map that could very well be split. I mean, the thing with Terrace is it's a small map. There's not really a lot going on, and so it's not hard for snipers to have a full grasp on it. I think if a spy wants to win on Terrace, they need to sneak a bug by, or they want to bring it down to a 50-50 with a Purloin Delegate.
We are a great character for sneaking bugs here. I think Pwndnoob has been selecting his spies for most of this, and I think this is basically who you want. I mean, Orange Dress, who normally has a very good standing bug, you don't want to do the standing bug if you can get away with it in this map, because it's hard to get away with it. There's so little else to look at most of the time.
Yeah, the spot that you really want the ambassador to get away with any bugs is at the back of that conversation, which he's currently in, but he's not at the back of it. But nice 51% early flirt. Again, it's not going to be the defining factor, but it helps. And we just need to see if we can get fingerprints or see who gets the fingerprints so that we can delegate them to get the guest list, maybe.
Yep. Oh, we're low lit. Okay, that was accidental, I think. Yeah, it was twin. We were trying to low lit. We're getting good, correct low lights here.
Banana bread.
There's a fake
Fakes.
banana bread coming off.
Smallman can be low lit off of that, which we should do.
Doesn't look like it's happening. Oh yeah, there it is. It was a little bit delayed. Are we going to see highlights for the people who have a real BB here? It's a good strategy on Terrace. I mean, Terrace is a framing map, and once you've done this, you know, the top suspects are the people who have the real banana bread. And now the question is, if we do another banana bread, you know, YerAnd can throw it all off and say, okay, never mind those. Or we can just delegate to someone who does have the real BB. I'm sure Pwndnoob remembers who they are.
Hey, ST. All right, so now we have to maybe Purloin here is what we're going to do, but we got to be careful here because we're delegating to all lowlights.
Yeah, when you have the flirt done that early, it would be really nice to just go for a mission win and hope that they don't shoot yet because they're waiting to see if you talk one more time. But unfortunately, because of the fake BB we did, that's not really the game plan we have.
Yep. The problem with fake BB is that once you real BB, the jig is up, and you better be done by the time you real BB. Okay,
Yeah, here's a delegate going off.
Wisely delegate to Irish, who is. Oh no!
Oh!
Oh no! We just think he's done. We must have hallucinated a bug or something from Twin, and now Pwndnoob gets 3 match points.
Darn, that is, yeah, that's massive. I mean, that's got to feel bad for YerAnd. YerAnd was, you know, leading for basically both of the double picks. And remember, the last 2 times these two played, it was 7-4 Pwndnoob, so YerAnd wasn't able to get any wins, but YerAnd was keeping this match incredibly, incredibly close, even having the lead a lot of the time, and was in a really, really good position to actually take this match and make it to Diamond. And unfortunately, that Civ shot, that really might be what costs him the match in the end. I mean, a lot of moments throughout this match have mattered. Every single swing has been huge. But getting a Civ shot like that, and now Pwndnoob match point 3 games in a row. YerAnd needs to win 3 in a row, and Pwndnoob just needs to win 1 more to make it to Diamond.
I wouldn't look past this game if I were YerAnd. I mean, you got to focus on winning the spy game as Terrace before you can even start thinking about what I'm going to do on Modern. Because winning on Terrace as spy is no small feat. So he's got to think real carefully here. And it looks like he is.
Yep, the nerves are probably at an all-time high. And what do we have coming up after Terrace? We have Modern, so
yep.
That's also going to be really, really hard for YerAnd to get a spy win on.
The good news for YerAnd is that Modern is, again, a pretty sniper-favored map, but if you can just get by this Terrace game, you can probably hope to get the shot on Noob and then have it all come down to 1 game, which is kind of your best-case scenario here. So we really, really, really need to focus on just winning this spy game however we can, by hook or by crook.
Yeah, and what we've been seeing that's really worked is the bugs. That's what's gotten them by on Aquarium. It's what's gotten them by on Courtyard. I think the best strategy based on that could just be setting up for a really good bug on the Ambassador.
We're in the classic double modern bug spot right here. This is where you like to be to do those behind-the-back bugs, but we have no cover in the front conversation, which is typically what you need to do that. We're just idling.
We have the double agent in our conversation, but it's not a good time for that either. We would really like to get a flirt, but that's not happening. So we're entering conversation here, very, very across from Smallman. We are setting ourselves up to go for this briefcase, maybe, but it looks like Salmon's going to get to it. I don't know what YerAnd's plans are, and I don't know if YerAnd knows either. I think you have to start at least chasing the flirt so that you can give yourself the opportunity to set yourself up for a bug later. If you
I
have
would
to be
get this
chasing the flirt,
fingerprint. I would get this fingerprint on the right statue. That's what I would do.
could also go for, I believe it's probably still a difficult on the briefcase, but
No,
that's a
what are we doing?
cancel. Low lit for
Oh,
it. No, Pwndnoob finally handing out the low light for the first time,
oh
all
boy.
set, just for that
Here we
briefcase
go.
cancel.
Oh no, and we're back to neutral.
Oh, he thinks better
Thought
of
better of
it.
it. Yep, yep, yep.
I mean, we've seen YerAnd do, I think, a few of those briefcase redirects throughout the
Banana
set and never
bread.
got the low light before. Here's a banana bread coming off, and my God, everyone in conversation
Perfect.
except for Pearl. That was great.
Boom. Top of
Wow!
danger goes down. Just like that. Another hallucinated bug. And YerAnd is still in this. We're going to go to Modern.
Oh, two Civ shots. Two Civ shots, both presumably from Imagining Bug, because I doubt either of those Civs finished prints, and we know that there had been no Purloin going off. These players were so on guard for the bug that they imagined it twice when it didn't happen. And now it all comes down to Modern. And it's the same situation. It's going to be very hard for YerAnd to win both of these. Spy win on Modern, not easy to do. YerAnd this season, 20% spy win rate. Pwndnoob, but Pwndnoob's Modern sniper win rate is actually not as high as many, only 62%, and that's actually below what most people have in this division on Modern as sniper. So it's actually possible for YerAnd to get both wins here. Pwndnoob starting off with multiple time ads over at the window, but the laser was over on that half. I think it's looking at the
He
bar,
hasn't seen
though.
it. He hasn't seen it at all. It's going to be way too late. He's going to have all day to finish here. And boy, this game has not been like an elegant duel of thrusts and parries. This has been a brawl with a bunch of just. It's been a high
Banana
tension,
bread.
sloppy, throwing haymakers kind of deal. Oh, that's a lot of low lights. That's a lot of. You can low light everybody back there.
Wow, I mean, God, look at those back two conversations. They're completely empty. That is a lot of lowlights for Modern.
Orange dress too should be low lit as well, but he hasn't yet.
And the other problem with it is that I don't know how much sense a banana bread makes from any of the people at bar. Even if they had time to get to a conversation, I feel like you're ruling out a lot of people at that bar rush. I'm really not sure about this banana bread. And especially once you've done 2 time ads, that's the time to let the suspects pile up. With an extra, an extra minute and a half, a lot of people could have been getting fingerprints and inspects, and you don't want to get those lowlights off. Going for a book
Just
cheese
straight
here.
book cheeses it. Yep. I don't think it's seen. He'd be dead. He'd be dead.
You would think it would be seen because the party is, narrowed down again like it was in that library game after the 3 BBs. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 available suspects, but we seem to have gotten away with the microfilm. I don't know what's going on in this game anymore.
Yeah, that's a bad one for YerAnd. With that many suspects left, you should absolutely be able to see that. And he's high lit for entry. I mean, he might be suspicious, but I mean, if you're not shot, that's a victory.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you hold your highlight because, if you highlight him while he's at that second shelf, he knows you're on to him. Whereas now he might not know that he's highlight. But again, the party is still narrowed down. You need 3 more missions. One of them is going to be seduce. That's easy. But with a narrowed down party like this, you're still going to have to, do 2 statue visits and then get away with a hardtail or multiple statues and multiple prints. You do have time for that because there's, 3 minutes, 45 seconds left. That's where the time ads will help. It's just a question of what is that highlight for? Is YerAnd onto the microfilm or not?
No more fingerprints available on the map, although the Amba did just leave a briefcase now, so we can do that if we want to. But boy, oh boy, I'm not sure that's... I mean, I think the main problem from Noob is just that was a really sloppy banana bread to fire off with like 5 minutes 30 on the clock. You gotta wait for a better opportunity than that with that much time.
Yeah, I mean, the nerves have to be at an all-time high. There's a
That
bug
was visible.
as the ambassador is walking in, and there's the shot. I think YerAnd was probably more on top of it than we thought. He just waited for the highlight so as not to give it away.
And I think Noob wanted the cane bug there, but the angle just wasn't quite right. And it all comes down to this. It is 8-7 in favor of YerAnd. YerAnd needs to win as spy to go to diamond. Pwndnoob needs to win as sniper to go to diamond.
I mean, when you consider that the last 2 times these two played, YerAnd was down by 3 points at the end of the set, being literally up in score is already a moral victory at this point, even if you don't get the win. But this is a really good situation comparatively. Needing to spy for a win on Modern is not a great situation, but like I said, Pwndnoob's sniper win rate on Modern is below, I believe, most of the other snipers in Platinum. And it's probably just a case of low sample size. I'm not saying I think Pwndnoob has any issues sniping on Modern, but if you had to choose which opponent to spy against on Modern, the stats say that this is one of the better opportunities for YerAnd to get this win. And it would be a massive, not only a massive upset, but just tragic for Pwndnoob as well to, beat YerAnd twice during the season, but miss out on it when it counts, and therefore lose out on the ticket to Diamond, which, we all thought Pwndnoob was going to get. Pwndnoob was absolutely dominating Platinum throughout the season. I think the last time Pwndnoob has lost a match was back in season 3. So yeah. No, and sorry, Opie in chat saying not a massive upset, and you're right. I don't mean to make it sound like it's the biggest upset ever. Both of these players had a big chance to win. 4-7 score lines is still pretty close at this level. So I'm not surprised at all to see that YerAnd has been able to bring it back and bring it up to match point for both of them. But YerAnd was definitely not the favorite going in. So
I think the calmer player will win this game. If I'm YerAnd, I really slow it down here. Like, Noob's heartbeat is going through the roof. He just demonstrated to you on the last map that he's willing to shoot somebody. I think you have to slow it down and just let him make mistakes. We get Lowlit for doing the leave early. That could be huge.
Wow.
Wrong arm bug fails, but that's okay. It wasn't seen.
No, it wasn't. And this low light seems to have stuck. I'm sorry, I missed it. What exactly is the low light for?
He left without taking a drink early.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, because
Banana
you
bread.
expect the spy to go for the purloin there. There's a banana bread coming off. Again, it's not a perfect one, but it's a lot better than the one we
about
saw
as good
last
as you
game.
get on Modern, I think, that one. I mean, it's not ideal, but that one's pretty average, I would say.
If this low light holds, YerAnd is going to win this and make it to Diamond. Oh,
Back
the
to
low
neutral.
light back to neutral.
Yeah, Noob, it's not fatal for Noob to low light someone. Now we fire off the delegate. I don't know if that's going to do anything, though.
No, and see, I think what might have happened is that now that Noob had the hard lowlights from the banana bread, it made sense to bring back up the soft lowlight if you're not certain about them. No, the purloin timer has expired. It's not going to go off, but there was no reason not to fire it off. The problem is now the situation has reversed. A minute and a half in, we have the contact, we have good seduce progress, but what's the game plan here?
We really wanted that bug. That wrong arm bug would have been extremely important if we had taken it, because then we would have 3 missions done at this point and just need to do some soft hells maybe even to win. But now we have to look for some more missions. We got to get a move on here. Modern, you constantly have to be moving. We have 2 minutes 30 left.
No, you're not going to get this briefcase. I think Duke was going for it, but luckily he's sipping his drink and we're able to steal it from under his feet.
Just put it down. I think these players overrate the importance of returning the briefcase. I think a lot of the time, if the amp is at a statue and you're far away and you put it down faster than maybe should be otherwise justified, the sniper doesn't typically assign a lot of suspicion for that.
And now we're going back to the bar. It looks like the plan is to go for a purloin again. There's a few people here, so it could work.
Oh, that statue's going to be real tempting over on the far left, because we could get fingerprints and we could get half in specs, and that might be all we need if we can get a good delegate going here.
Yeah,
Time is winding down. We need to go fast here.
There are a lot of other highlights, though. I don't think that YerAnd is a big suspect, even though we were brought back up to neutral.
That was
now
a
we're
twitch.
highlight. Oh, yeah, that was bad. That was a really bad cancel away from that briefcase. Because I think when you cancel away from the briefcase, you redirect anywhere else on the map. And in this case, it looked like YerAnd's redirect was literally one step over. And that's just what spies do. They don't have the planning in the moment to decide where to go on the map. So they just take a step to the nearest pad. And behavioral snipers are all over it.
Too cute. I mean, I really think both players have been way too cute with this game and just like really trying too hard to do like a bunch of technical stuff. Gotta play solid spy party. All right, we have the delegate now, but we're gonna. I mean, we've burnt so much time at the bar. We're way behind now. We're also a high suspect for no good reason. We're pathing like crazy in this conversation circle.
Yeah, it made sense. Disney sort of blocked our way in there for a moment, so we curved back around. But what are we going to have to do to get a win at this point? We're going to have to delegate, and then after the delegate, we're going to have to get
that's not
another
gonna work.
fingerprint. And General's Tex, sorry, is taking the one on that
Yeah,
statue.
this is
There's a
just
briefcase.
death.
You can't go for the briefcase from this far away. You just have to hope that Pwndnoob isn't looking for it. Oh, instead it's
Yeah,
statue. There's the guest
we're
list
dead.
on fingerprintable statue and shot. And Pwndnoob with
Noob
that
to
takes
diamond.
match point and makes it to diamond in a lot closer of a brawl, that's the right word for it, than we were expecting.
Yeah, really a down in the dirty like fight there. Like kind of a much sloppier game that really than I would match I should say than we would expect typically from these two. A lot of high tension, a lot of nerves going on there. But Noob will be in diamond, and now we will have to have YerAnd face off against Magician. YerAnd still has a path to diamond, but is going to have to beat Magician 1099 to get there. And my goodness, that's a hard way to do it. So, oof. By the skin of a low light to a highlight, it will be Pwndnoob who goes to diamond. And I think we're going to do an interview with these gentlemen as soon as they get done. So we'll wait for them to head on in.
Great. Should we switch channels for this?
Yes, let's
Headquarters.
go to. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and there were a lot of huge moments this set. I'm very curious to ask about some of the plays, and I hope both of them are in good spirits after that. I mean, it was a super tight match. Hey, Pwndnoob, congratulations! Nervous laughter.
So why the low light there at the very beginning on Oprah? What, did she just
did
not take the drink?
Yeah, just for not taking a drink. And
Got it.
then I brought him back up just because of the BB. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's real, and I don't want to lose to a low light right now.
Oh, it was a critical neutral light there. He actually fired a really good wrong arm bug entering that convo, which I think you didn't even look for because he was low lit, but it missed, and that was big times right there.
Yeah, if I was more concerned, I would have shot. I think he was doing some weird twitchy thing at the bar. I haven't watched the replay on that one.
Oh
He
yeah,
did,
right
he
at
did,
the
yep,
end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He did a weird twitchy thing at the bar.
Why was he doing that?
I think
We're
he
not
was going
sure.
for the briefcase, but someone else picked it up, and so he took a really short path over to the bar. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah, I think it was just like a 1-inch briefcase cancel is what he was going for, but it looked kind of weird, obviously.
Yeah, well,
So-
that's what I was saying. The spies like to take really short paths after the briefcase, and I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yeah,
So
I
you
I would have
are
potentially lost that. I'm the champion, but it's not. I'm still processing the last game.
by the skin of the teeth. I mean, that was a very back and forth set. I feel like both of you were trying to deploy some pretty serious like low light behavior or etiquette tech on each other. It wasn't really working. We saw a lot of really janky plays. I think you did the two fake. Did you do the two fake game or did YerAnd do the two fake game?
I did a 2 fake game on Library where I figured this will look like someone just fumbling a purloin, and maybe he'll allow me for the split if I green test it, and it made sense at the time.
Hey, YerAnd joining us now. Congratulations on a very well played set and very tight finish.
Oh, brutal way to lose. 8-8 always sucks. And oh man, YerAnd, you were ahead at times during that set. Came very close to winning that last game, I feel. Maybe I think if you had hit that really good wrong arm bug entering the conversation as Oprah there, you could have pulled that one out. Oh, that was so close, though.
Yeah, maybe. I'm also a little mad that the DA took a print from the statue at the end.
Yeah, I saw that happen
cooking
as well.
for 2
I
minutes.
saw that happen as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
YerAnd, I caught the twitching stuff. I think it might have been briefcase related, according to the casters at the bar. And I was gonna shoot you for next progress, and then you, I think, missed the pad. the conversation in the back, and I was like, I really don't know what's going on, but I'd rather not lose to just shooting a really dumb AI right now.
Great.
I didn't miss the pad. I tried to redirect, but it wasn't very good.
Oh, okay. Then I thought it was bad. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were so many moments in this set. Let's jump back to the start and maybe go through some of them in order. Starting with Aquarium. So, Aquarium is where we saw a lot of really interesting Purloin strategies. In the very first game, Pwndnoob, you started off as Alice and you went for an immediate Purloin from the bar. Can you talk to us about what made you go for this strategy?
The bar was next to me, and I was like, this worked against Falcon
Yeah,
Hit, so
that's
I
right.
did it. There was
And
no forethought. I wasn't planning pre-game to I'm gonna take that list immediately. It was just, ooh, look, a bar, and that just pre-game nerves.
How
And so
high was the
YerAnd.
tension? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dels.
Oh no, I was going to ask YerAnd. So YerAnd, you eventually shot Alice, but we weren't sure at what point you noticed that the list was gone. When did you notice it?
I have a bad habit of not shooting, even when I know when there's no reason. Like, I pretty much saw it from the start, but I wanted to see what he does, but then he never left convo, and I just lost patience.
Makes sense.
I mean, it is Aquarium. You can get beat by like someone dancing behind the shark or something stupid. So the untimely shot was fine by me.
Some of the more interesting moments for me. So the Terrace set was very interesting to me. Both snipers seemed to be very high tension at that point and just blasting people who I think had potential bugs. Each of them. Is that more or less the case?
The immediate talk into like banana bread happening right at that moment, I didn't even realize. And I told YerAnd after the set, I thought the DA was in that conversation too. I just wasn't happy, and I was just trying to use it as like a release valve there to just decompress and just go, I hope this is it. I was much more confident about that shot than I was the last shot though on Modern.
And tell me more about the. Let's go back to the gallery game, the gallery match, real quick. Pwndnoob, you played as Smallman as Spy, and sort of got off to a pretty good start. I think you had a flirt, and you had a pretty early inspects, and then you hid in the back, and I think you coughed at one point, and it wasn't like what happened at the end of that. How are you trying to win
So
that game?
that was predetermined. So my game plan there was I'm gonna finish flirt nice and quick. I'm gonna get a nice banana bread, and I was
Banana
really
bread.
happy that the DA split right when I was about to do the good BB and do early inspects, and then just use the small man advantage there if it's gonna be a bug in the back or if it's gonna be a purloin in the back or like a quick cheeky microfilm. Just be up there and be able to do the possible dance. What ended up happening at the end of that game was I just hit the red banana bread, and then I realized, okay, I'm not dead. And then I just kept on clicking buttons. I'm like, okay,
just
red banana
use
bread.
the distraction.
Red
Yeah.
banana bread seems like a good distraction for a purloin. I've never done this play before, but it seems reasonable. And then yeah, I thought I had a bit more time to dance, but with the laser latency stuff, it looked like he was already lining the shot.
Yeah,
Before
YerAnd took a great, just immediately quick shot. It didn't want to give you any time to dance. It looked
Oh,
like
for good
from our
reason. So
perspective.
we did
Yeah,
this
yeah.
twice already, and he did it once to me on gallery. This is just our little inside joke at this point.
YerAnd too had a very interesting gallery game. It seemed like for most of the game that YerAnd was a little bit behind in that match or in that game as Spy. I think as Carlos,
I think
and
he
was
only
sort
had
of
flirt done at the end of the game.
yeah. Well, and at the end of the game, just had kind of the back to the wall and took sort of maybe a low percentage shot, but it was definitely we felt like the shot that gave him the most chance to win. And purloined. And I think that was pretty strong because it was good thinking under pressure and way to. It was a way to maximize your chances in a tough situation, I think, and it paid off. So it was impressive to see that shot as well. Aaron,
Oh,
did
the
you?
one. Oh, he played Carlos twice on gallery. So the one
Yeah,
that did the
second one.
purloin. Yeah, he did it like at a briefcase or something stupid. I was so distracted. So small man did like a reject in the back of the conversation, and I spent like a good 30 seconds just trying to acknowledge he was still in the game. Irish was going and to her other bookcase. I had been incredibly on Mom. I just had a lot of suspects doing way too many things right when that purloin went off. I think he was like 4th suspect.
Yeah, I think the point mainly is that YerAnd could have very easily lost that game. I think by being like, "Oh man, I'm behind." I'm just this game sucks. I'm going to lose it. But really, YerAnd, it seemed like you kept your head in the game and pulled out a win that you really needed.
Yeah, and so some of the other really interesting strategies that we saw were with banana breads. We saw those on both Courtyard and on Library. The first time was Courtyard. This was game 10, the second Courtyard game. YerAnd as the spy as Teal. And you did 3, I think, was it 3 fake banana breads that game? Can you let us know what was the strategy behind that?
Sure didn't. I'm honestly not sure why I did like the first. Oh, I remember. Yeah. So
Banana
my strategy initially was I wanted to do a rush, but I started with a drink, and I accidentally started talking instead of sipping immediately, and then it just went downhill from there, basically. So the first BB was I was looking at the other convo that had a DA, and then I was kind of hoping that I can sip my drink and call Toby over or something, because there was a Proline chain starting. And then I just kind of
Banana
didn't for
bread.
some reason, and Toby went off elsewhere, and I don't know what I was doing the rest of the game.
All right,
And then
thank you.
I ended up catching a bit of the wrong arm bug, and then he dipped into statues, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll shoot him.
Oh
And
yeah,
then I was
we thought
trying
that
to run away
YerAnd
from,
was just
from the...
running away from the shot there.
Yeah, if you're already dancing, there's 2 minutes left. I'm scared. Stop it. Die.
And so, Pwndnoob, we saw some banana bread strategies from you as well in the library game. You did a fake banana bread at 3 minutes 19, and then you immediately changed conversations and went for the real one. So I wanted to ask you about that, and I also just wanted to bring up a general question to both of you for library, because we were noting when you went into here that both of you have a 100% win rate as sniper on library, and I'm sure both of you were aware of that. And so, what was going on with those BBs? And then for both of you, just sort of what was your strategy to get a spy win by on library at
Banana
all?
bread.
Starting with you, Pwndnoob.
This was, yeah, so this BB into
Banana bread.
and walk in there and just I didn't think like he might even notice me walk in and do it, but I did want to walk in and do a banana bread. So when you hear those like 2 banana breads back to back, it triggers other thoughts like, oh no, are they trying to do a purloin and they're doing a bad job about it, or are they trying to cover a bug or something? And so it's like, it's not really a play necessarily, but it's a play in the sense that it's making the sniper more nervous, because you're not going to get many more lowlights between the first and the second banana bread. Well, hopefully.
I actually got 3 lowlights off the second one.
Yeah.
The
Well,
first one,
I guess it doesn't really work if you don't get all the lowlights in the first one anyways, which is often the case on library unless you're Crazy Kaylee.
yeah, but the first one was actually only 1 lowlight, and then I wasn't 100% sure if you split, so I just kind of didn't think much. So the first
Yeah.
one was really good.
Where did you get all these lowlights from, by the way, on library?
I mean, bouncing, pathing.
Yeah, so I was kind of commenting on that during the game. You gave off a lot of lowlights on. I mean, there were a few lowlights on the first BB. There were a lot of lowlights on the second BB, and then he was able to just kind of zone in on the remaining half of the party, more or less, and just get a low light here, a low light there for doing this and that. And it started to really whittle down the party.
And then
Speaking of lowlights, and then you coughed. Sometimes you die because you cough. My I had a question about Modern. So Noob, you got away with. So we were kind of expecting that your best chance to win would actually come as spy.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So, Modern, I've been actively avoiding picking, mainly so I could have it in the finals. Because the thing that I do on Modern, and if YerAnd's watching enough of my Modern replays, I just always do that cheese. Like I do
The time
the
ad cheese or the
Modern,
book cheese.
the book cheese. I do the book
Yeah.
cheese in the same way that people do veranda cheese, like the
Yeah.
veranda book cheese. And I don't really want to just have 10 replays from the season or 20 replays from the season of me doing the book
Banana
cheese over
bread.
and over again.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why. And then the book cheese worked. He shot me for pathing annoyingly.
I think he shot you for the bug on that one, didn't he?
Well,
As
technically,
Papa
yes.
Danger.
Yeah,
He told me
but I
after
was
the-
onto him.
Oh yeah, you did a little bit of a weird repath entering that conversation in the first place. Yeah, I remember now. My question
yeah,
about
that
that
was
game
just-
was
That was just
was-
a bad path across Modern. It's not how
oh
the
yeah,
guys
he was
end
going
in
from
Convo.
bookcase to far convo and he didn't go the right way, or I wasn't really. I was
Basically.
looking from sniper. Okay, I got it. My question was on Modern. So Noob, you led off with 2 straight time ads right off the bat. So you had like 6 minutes on the clock practically.
Welcome to Pwndnoob Spy.
Yeah.
When he hasn't done time ads for 7 games, he gets bored.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I thought it was fine. Like it's Modern. You know, if you're going to do time ads, do it then, right? And the problem that I had was that you did a banana bread, which led off. It must have been like close to 2/3 of the party.
Oh, it
this
was
looked
it
like.
was a game losing banana bread because it was meant to cover for the bug, and then
I
Ambassador
gotcha.
split, and he
I
wasn't.
gotcha.
He was. It was a
I
split that
see.
he
I
did
see.
without me being too close. He
I
just
understand.
decided to leave, and so
Yeah, I was
like,
wondering why the heck that banana bread. And going back, I'm looking at it. I see. Yeah, you were 100% trying to cover for bug there. Yeah, I was having trouble. Like Noob knows better than to do that. Why would he do that? And I see now that's
yeah,
a
I
bug
was
cover.
trying to put
Yeah.
YerAnd in a spot where he would have to shoot me for just doing soft tells.
Got it.
And so if you do the cheesy microfilm and you get the bug, then I get a lot of options to just inspect, fingerprint, BB, flirt, do 3 of the 4, and force him to shoot in an incredibly high pressure situation.
Well, God, that was a heck of a match. That was an emotional roller coaster of a match, there, gentlemen. It was a well played one for sure. It was really down and dirty. I think it was like less elegant and more like just crazy brawly, throw stuff at the wall than we expected. Noob, I'll ask you: are you looking forward to joining us and being one of us here in Diamond?
Yeah, I need YerAnd to come with me because you guys need to learn etiquette. And Bacon hasn't learned anything new. He's an old dog. Bloom's gone. So if it's just you trying to win, and if you're doing paths across Modern, you're gonna get shot. And paths across Modern are the only thing you're allowed to do on Modern because it's so big.
Noob cutting a great promo there on Diamond. Yeah,
hashtag abolish Diamond.
that's right. And YerAnd, of course, not done yet. YerAnd has a chance to still join Noob in Diamond. Has to get by Magician 1099 to do it, though. I'm not going to ask YerAnd for any evaluation of any tech we might be going against with Magician, though. So YerAnd, I will wish you good luck. And if anyone else has any questions, that's all I've got.
We have question from chat from Warning Track. YerAnd, did you specifically prepare for Gallery and Library, assuming Noob would pick them? You seemed very prepared for Noob's spy game on both.
I don't really prepare much as sniper, I would say. Like I fully expected him to pick Gallery and Library, so I had that
I think we
little
actually did
briefcase
talk about our
shenanigans
picks.
for Library.
Yeah, we talked about these our picks prior to like a couple of weeks ago because we were considering I was going to allow him to have Veranda if he allowed me to have TN as a truce, but we never got there.
And you
'Cause I
took me
really
out
wanna
of
play
it.
Dude, my Tayan, have you seen my sniper rate on Tayan?
Nope.
It's statistically unlikely. I think I've lost 1 game on Tayan after picking it every time I could on sniper side, which it's dumb. And Kaylee's not gonna ban it. He's gonna ban high rise. It's gonna be great. Yay, Diamond's gonna be miserable.
All
That's
right.
what I'm playing 1,000 games of Tan right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That
All
being
right. Well,
said,
thanks to
best of
both
luck
of
against
you.
Magician there,
Oh.
YerAnd. I think you have a good chance, but late season Magician is spooky.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Diamond at least for a season. We'll see.
Dude,
I mean, you proved that you're capable of it. This match went incredibly close. Both very deserving players, no matter how it would have come out. So thank you for allowing us to cast this. Thank you for joining us for this interview as well. Thank you to Berar for hosting. Thank you to Kaylee for casting. And
My
thanks
pleasure.
to everyone for watching. We have the official North America cast coming up in, I believe, 3 hours. We'll be covering the final 2 matches from round 1 of the Tournament of Position, which is Pofke from Silver versus Ligorv Janine from Oak, and Screwloose from Silver versus Dels from Oak. Those are the last 2 matches for round 1 of the Tournament of Position, heading into week 2, which is underway now. So tune in for that later.
Hype.
Thank you, everyone.